Hi everyone, it's Agnes, and I've got a viewer's question from Mark. Now this email's quite long, so I'm picking out the bits where the questions are and I'm answering that. Now, Agnes, maybe a short step-by-step video about doing an end scene, then what needs to be done after. Example, 1, scene, 2, continue with affirmations, 2, continue with assumption, 3, continue with self-love, and also what to do if messed with the middle. Okay. Now, on the video mentioning about you messing with the middle, he's talking about the video with 72 viewers. I will put that video down below so you can check out what he's talking about if you're interested. Now, on the video mentioned above, you talked about messing with the middle, but it wasn't clear what to do if you already did this, or actually, does it even matter? Now, Joseph Ally seems to think it does, according to Neville Goddard. So I would love, Agnes, your point of view on this. Okay, now, I know there's a lot about this messing in the middle, and what I want to say is this. What I find with people over the last 30 years that use Neville and those that are successful, most people can't jump from, I'm totally single, my person that I want to be with has blocked me, they haven't spoken to me in 9 months, and now I'm going to live in the end of us being married. Okay, your belief system for most people, not saying everyone, it's too big a jump. Because you're going, that's ridiculous. They're not even talking to me. How the heck am I going to get married? Now, if you're someone that can just go ahead and do that and believe it, by all means, go and do that. But for the majority of people, what I find is the jump is too big for your belief system, and it snaps and goes, that's never going to happen. So, although, you know, Neville or Joseph or whoever says what they say, I'm going to talk to you about my experience, okay? Not just the theory of Neville. I think Neville's great. As you know, I recommend him. I've got playlists of him and I love his work. But I am a big believer that Neville's not the only way. Why? Because I think that's why we've had so much trouble with religion and politics and lots of other things. My way's right, your way's wrong, and I don't subscribe to that. I think Neville is excellent, but I don't think Neville is the only way. But rewinding and going back to what I think about this, I think it's much easier to be totally single and not seeing someone for 11 months to believing that you can have a date with someone. And that in itself is a manifestation in its own right. You may be heading to wanting to get married. You may be heading to wanting, not beheading, it sounds like I've just cut someone's head off. You may be heading, with a space in the middle, to wanting to get married, wanting to live together, wanting to have children, whatever, but believing that you can sit and have a date and actually have a conversation for the first time in 11 months is easier for your belief system to stretch to. So, theory is good. Neville's theory is good, but you got to think about the practical part of this stuff. You got to work out, can I actually do it? Because if you're just going to do it once or twice and then give up because it's too hard, what's the point? You've kind of, you know, made it, I think, too hard for yourself. Whereas if you go, let's go for the date, then when you actually meet up a month later and you have a fabulous date and you go, hey, maybe we can go out again. And this time, maybe we can not just go to a restaurant, we can hold hands. Then when you get that experience and you go, okay, now we're seeing each other, then you can imagine getting married. So theory is theory and it's all well and good. And if you can do it, I'm not going to even argue with you about it. But if you are new or in the middle range or even in a little bit advanced around Neville, you've got to work out what works best for you. Now, in my experience, doing it in increments, I don't see that as messing with the middle at all. What I see is that I am building a house and layers and floors of the house so that the house is stable on the bottom, and then I can put the roof on, step by step by step, okay? So, everybody's got their way of doing it. I'm talking to you about having tried different ways over 30 years about Neville. This has worked the best for me. This is how I, left my job, how I make 4 times the money that I make, how I am with my specific person, that it's real. I'm not just showing you that it didn't happen. It happened. We lived together in London. We've known each other 9 years. We've been together properly for 6. It's real, okay? I think theory and books are fantastic, but who gives a rat's ass if you can't get it to work? You have to make it practical for you, okay? So make it practical, make it work, make it easy, make it fun, and increment up if you need to. So Mark, I'm glad you asked this question, because I see through working with people, those that try and jump too big too quick often fall in the pothole and then get really discouraged. And I don't want you to get discouraged. I want you to achieve what you want. And if you can make it easier for yourself to build your feeling of security and confidence, then do it. And you know what? Neville's great. Neville's not the only way, okay? Just a little secret. Neville's not the only way. He's fabulous, but you know what? Test out his teachings. Have a look at Florence Scovel Shinn. Have a look at Joseph Murphy. Have a look at Dandapani. Have a look at Catherine Ponder. Have a look at Napoleon Hill. Have a look at, what's the other guy I've been reading? Ken Honda. Have a look at all these people, and remember, Neville's fantastic, but there's a whole world out there of amazing people that you might relate a little bit better to and put the pieces together. My whole toolbox is, yes, some Neville, but there's lots of other people in the little toolbox. There's lots of little dolls. There's a Catherine Ponder doll, and there's a Joseph Murphy doll, and there's lots of little dolls in there, and I pull them out and I have a look and play with them. So there's lots of good information. I am a big Neville fan, but Neville was one man. He can't filter down through all the information of the ages, That's why we have so many different people that have written books. So open your mind. Open your mind. Okay? That's all I have to say.